Hi, welcome to another reading vlog. It is Monday I was gonna say afternoon, but it's kind of evening. What was that? I heard a ding in my pocket. It is almost 6 o'clock. We're gonna order in some palmies for dinner, so I don't have to worry about cooking. Today I finished the audiobook I was listening to most of last week, which is What We Devour by Lindsay Miller. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I feel like it was like a 3.5, which I rounded up to 4, and I feel like a lot of the problems was that I was listening to an audiobook and was easily distracted. It was a really dark book and really intriguing, so I would be interested in reading it again with my eyes. It was really good. A really solid read. The magic system was kind of like these gods that have been limited in their movement to our world, but some people carry them as like creatures that they can, what kind of creatures that they can use to do shit. And I don't know, it was really cool. And I had a great time with it. So I gave it 3.5 stars and I rounded up to 4. I then read a book called, I listened to the first like 15 minutes of a book called The 10th Girl by Sarah Farring, and I immediately was concerned. Like, I'd heard some bad reviews already, and I knew there was some colonial problems with it, but I was not sure what that entailed. And straight away it kind of like did that early reveal of like the mythology of the mystery, because it's like a thriller murder mystery kind of story. And straight away when they introduced it, of course she did, I was immediately like raising eyebrows. So then I went on a hunt for some reviews of like what that entailed and what people thought of it, and most people thought like it was pretty dodge, and I just decided I wasn't going to waste my time on it, so I DNF'd it, which does count for a prompt for not safe for workathon, so that's fun. And now I'm going to sit down. And then the next book I decided to pick up was The Left-Handed Booksellers of London on audiobook, which was next on my list, and so I'm going to listen to that over the next couple of days. But first I'm going to finish counting down with you tonight. And so I grabbed out my, as you can see here, my like D20 dice, D&D dice. I don't know, like there's a D20, there's a D100, a 4, an 8 I think, or is that a 7? No, an 8, a D8, a D6, a D12 and a D10. I can't remember. There's a lot here. And my plan is to roll all of them, and that will give me a number for how long the sprint's for. With the D100 in there, it could really get big, but I thought it might be a good way to do it. So the D100 might even be useful for like, does it go to 100 or just 90? I think the 00 is meant to be the 100. That would be a 60. Yeah. Otherwise it's like a D90. Which maybe we'll do it as a D90 and do the 0 as 0, because we're going to add all the other ones in. You feel? I'm going to see if Paige wants to join me in this little adventure, but that's my plan, and I'm going to do like dice sprints for the rest of the evening, literally just adding up that time and doing it on a timer. And we'll see what we get. Let me ask Paige if she wants to join. I do not have a little die rolling board, like the little boxes that people use, so we're just literally going to gently roll one by one, maybe, onto the book I'm reading. Let's start with the D100, which I think I'm going to take as a 90. So let's start with that. There's my puppy. She's been running, but she's just settled down. Here is our D100. which will get the starting time. Oh, that's a 60, so we're starting with 30 minutes. I'm going to add some more onto that. Let's go one by one. D20. 3. D12 is a 6. Oh no, that would have been a, what was that then? D8. This is a D12. 11. What was this one then? If that's a 6, that might be a D10. Yeah, so that's a D10. This one, that one's the D12. This is the D8. Is a 1. D6. 4. And a little mini D4. 3. So that is an 88-minute sprint. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah, so that's how we're going to do this. So our first sprint is 88 minutes. I'll set a timer. And if I have to pause, I'm going to pause the timer. Is my plan. I'm setting up a new bookcase today. The cat is on it. These are some things that might go on it. I'm not sure yet. And let's get started. So I just finished pulling everything off my rainbow shelf that's black and white and grey to put onto this shelf. I kind of paused the camera for a bit because I thought it was just going to run out of space and stuff. But now I'm going to start stacking this shelf and we'll see how it goes. It's been a few days. To be fair, I was charging my phone, my camera battery, but this is done now. I'll give you a tour in a little bit, and I fixed my other shelf to match. It is Saturday morning. No, it's not Saturday morning. It's Friday morning, but it's a public holiday, so it feels like the Saturday morning. Ooh. I'm gonna try and get a lot done and also read over this weekend. Despite the fact that I've basically given up on my TV. But I want to get the last few things that I really do need to read done as quickly as possible. I don't want to, all of these I have to read by the end of the month, so there we go. I'm currently about 250 pages into A Memory of Soul. The Memory of Souls, I'm going to try and finish this today with any luck, or at least get very close. It is chunky. I'm listening along to the audiobook. I'm not sure whether I'll continue to do that today, whether I'll be quicker not doing that. I might trial a few chapters and see how I go, and then I can move the audiobook if I'm feeling it. I also am listening to currently The Left-Handed Booksellers of London by Garth Nix. If I play some Sims today, which I want to do, I will be listening to this. It's my last audiobook I have to read for the month, so it'll be done. The books I have left that I've decided to keep on my TBR because I feel like they really need to get read. We have City of Stairs by Robert Jackson Bennett, which is a Bookoplathon deal book, so it has to be read. Neon Gods by Katie Roberts is on my iPad, but it's also a Bookoplathon deal thing, needs to be read. Blackout by a bunch of black authors is a library book and has to go back, so I'm going to try and get that read. And Bands of Mourning by Brandon Sanderson is a buddy read with April. She's already read it and I am lagging behind this month, so I haven't read it yet, so it needs to get read. That'll be my final book of the month. So I'm going to try and get through this next 3 days. I'd like to get all through Memory of Souls and all of City of Stairs, is my goal. I would love to also get a start on Neon Gods. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. I'd also love to finish this, but I've got a bit more time for this if it doesn't happen. So, yeah. What do I have to do today? I have to go to my friends to do a distance drop off of, or pick up actually on my behalf of, an edger to do my lawns. I need to edit a video. I need to fill out some forms. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much my day. We're probably going to be playing board games at some point today also. So I'm about to go get dressed and get started on stuff, like get a move on. I don't know when I talked to you last, but I just finished Memory of Souls. Honestly, it could have been days ago. I don't know, but I just finished it. The chunky beast that it is. It is Saturday night of our little long weekend. I've read a lot today. That was like 300 something pages. I gave it 5 stars. That's freaking good. I love this series so much. All the interpersonal dynamics are just on point, and it's so fun. And I can't wait to read the 4th book, and the 5th book comes out in like April. So I'm so hyped. I don't know when I'll get around to reading book 4. Hopefully like January. And then also read book 5 next year. But it's so good. I love the writing style. I don't know, I just love this series. Chorus of Dragons, if you're wondering what the series name is. The first one is Ruin of Kings. I fucking love this series. It is kind of complicated, so I will say, like, it might be hard to understand, but I personally love it. I have a big theory when it comes to a personal philosophy, shall we say, when it comes to complex fantasy, and that is that the author will guide you just enough. So you don't always need to keep track of all the little bits and moving pieces, because often it'll reiterate and explain things to you anyway. So I tend to go on the, even if I don't get it, I'll figure it out. It'll happen in time and I'll understand by the end. Like, and I've never, or very rarely, been led astray with that philosophy. So, like, yes, it can be a tad confusing. There's a lot of points of view, especially, and I feel like it's more true of book 1, and book 2 is easier to understand, and this book was easier to understand again as the world kind of builds and develops and you learn more, because you're following a set of characters at the start who are intentionally in the dark about how a lot of the world works, and you're learning how a lot of the world works as things progress. So but you're kind of made aware that there are things you don't know from really early on, so that might be confusing. To be being told, well, that's going to be important later, but you don't know how, so it doesn't necessarily stir in your head very well, but it's fine, because they will tell you when it becomes important. It'll pop up. It's fine. Honestly, I love this whole series, and I'm obsessed. I can't wait to read book 4. Anyway, my next book, physical book, is going to be my next read with my eyes is going to be Neon Gods by Katie Robert, which I'm going to read on my Kindle or on my iPad starting tonight. I'm about to check and see. I mowed the front lawns this morning, the front yard, and listened to a bit of my audiobook while I was doing that, so I'm gonna have a listen and see where I am in the physical book of The Left-Handed Booksellers of London, which is the audiobook I'm currently reading by Garth Nix, and see where I'm at to put a bookmark in and track my progress for today. And then I'm going to pick up Neon Gods. I'm currently watching Dice Sprints that Becca is running, with Kaz and Madison and Abby, and so I'm watching those, so I can probably start kind of late, and I know there's more sprints happening tomorrow morning, so and I have the live show tomorrow for our book club, so there's a lot of things happening. But yeah, I think I'm going to stay up late and hang out in this live and start Neon Gods tonight. This is dice sprint, so that does mean if Becca rolls doubles, we have to switch books. So now that I'm going to be starting Neon Gods, the book I could switch to if we have to is City of Stairs by Robert Jackson Bennett. So that's my next physical read, but I'm going to read Neon Gods first if everything goes according to plan. So yeah, I guess I'll chat with you tomorrow about how little it's up. But yes, Memory of Souls, fucking mint. So I better wrap this vlog up. Did I vlog at all yesterday? Honestly, not sure. I did film my TBR yesterday, which I'm about to start editing, but I finished The Left-Handed Booksellers of London, the audiobook. It was a good time. I gave it 4 stars. This is like a alternate history, kind of has similar vibes to, say, The Starless Sea, where you're learning about like a secret society of sorts. I thought it was really well done. I do really like Garth Nix's writing style. It was just a really solid read, and I enjoyed it a lot. I also read and finished Neon Gods by Katie Robert, which I was scared about going in, hesitant, because I haven't read a lot of like full-on like erotica, especially of like the BDSM and kink variety. I tend to read a lot of sweeter romance. It tends to be my like leaning preference, but I had a great time with this. It was really fun, and I gave it 4 stars. It was just really solid. Like, I think it delivered really, really well. So yeah, I had a great time. I started last night, so there's 3 books still I have to read before the end of the month. None of which are audiobooks that I'm going to be listening to. I'm doing other stuff, so I'm going to make a little bit of a head start on my October audiobooks, which I'm not going to talk about in this video, but I did start City of Stairs. I'm not very far into it, like 20 pages. I'm not super intrigued yet, but I'm going to keep reading and see how it goes. I also have Blackout to read, and Bands of Mourning. My plan is to get halfway through this today, Monday, and proceed in that direction, and we'll see how things go. I may DNF it, who knows? Like, I'm not intrigued yet. And it's got some layout stuff that is not in my favor. Like, I don't like long chapters, and I especially don't like long chapters when they're not labeled, like with numbers, so I can see progress happening. And this is just chapter names, not chapter numbers. My hair is doing this thing where it just I don't know what it's doing, but yeah, so it's not, I can't stop looking at it. What the fuck? Like, can this please just not? No, it's not gonna nut. I'm just gonna go like this so you can't see it, and I can't see it. Yeah, it so far has not intrigued me, and it's not set up in my favor, but we'll give it a good go, and you'll see in my next vlog what I end up doing with it, thinking of it. I am going to do a little short vlog for this last few days of the month, and then transition to some kind of spooky vlog for next month, so keep an eye out for that, and keep an eye out for my, you'll have just seen my TBR, so don't keep an eye out for that because it would have come out before this video, but keep an eye out for future vlogs for me and a wrap up. And yeah, I don't even know what this week was. I don't know. I feel like I a little bit got my mojo back, but I don't know whether it was just those books or a full mojo, so yet to be seen. Yet to be seen.